Good day everyone, my name is Leanie and welcome to the very first episode of Picking Up Stitches podcast. I have decided to do this mainly because I would like to share with you guys my journey in learning more about crochet and knitting and Tunisian crochet. Hence the reason that the name of this podcast is not the same as my YouTube channel, Independence Crochet, because it's not just about crochet, or it's not going to be just about crochet. So you guys will notice I've got some tutorials on my YouTube channel as already, but they are all beginner crochet tutorials. I'm not making myself out to be an expert in any way. I'm just hoping to teach people as much as possible. So I will be learning, and it's one of my big goals this year, is really improving my knitting skills significantly. I can knit and I can pull, and with that create a ribbing, and that's it. So I'm gonna do a few knit alongs probably this year, join a few clubs, learn how to do basic things, and I will take you guys on that journey with me. I learned to crochet when I was something like 5 or 6 years old. My mom taught me, and she actually knitted those pineapple tablecloth fine yarn lace type of crochet, and then I actually asked her to teach me how to do it, and she actually never taught me anything until I could make a chain of chain stitches twice my length. So that alone took me like weeks. I even took my crochet work to school, which was making me the weirdo, which I am. And then eventually she taught me how to make a ring and double crochet stitches and single crochets and trebles, and from there I was like hooked, and I continued with this until puberty, I'm thinking, more or less. High school, crochet knitting's not that cool, and I eventually stopped. And then I went through varsity, started working, and it was only after my mom actually passed away that I started to pick up crochet again. And obviously by that time I forgot a lot of things, and I turned to YouTube like everybody does. And I learned again how to do it, but I was never gonna go back to knitting lace things. It was like it was a little bit too old-fashioned according to me. So I bought some DK yarns and all those types of things, and I bought a new crochet hook, and I just started again. I knitted some baby blankets, simple things, granny squares, just to get back into it. And yeah, the rest is history. I've since learned a few things, tips and tricks all over, and by following written patterns from different people. So yeah, that's it. Some fact about me that you guys have to know, and there's clue number 1. I live on a farm. So there will always be background noise on my episodes. Nothing that I can do about that. Makes life interesting. So we've got 3 dogs, 2 cats, sheep. Well, I'm not sure how many sheep we have, but it's something like 120 sheep. They might come past the house anytime soon, come drink water, who knows. We got chickens and ducks and peacocks, and then there's all the natural wildlife and birds flying around here, crows. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. A myriad of sounds that will be in the background, but that's cool. It's life, we live with it. So that's it. You guys must just bear in mind, I made notes because I'm a nerd. I don't want to waste your time too much. So I've already told you guys a fact about myself, and then I'm gonna jump into it. I mean, there's no point in delaying. We're gonna look at my WIPs, my works in progresses. Yeah, let's start. So what I've got here is a solid granny square. So the plan with this is to create a drape. I'm looking currently as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at a safe that's in this room that I'm using as my craft room, and it's old, it's big, it's not pretty anymore. So I had 2 of these big balls of color crush yarn from Ali, and I decided, what am I gonna do? I mean, I got this yarn, I'm not planning on using it anytime soon for something special. I had no plans of it, but the safe is driving me nuts. It does not fit in with the aesthetics of this room. So this is basically going to be the last row of what's going to be on top of the safe. I will send you guys pictures on Instagram and so on. And then after this row, I'm simply going to stop increasing, creating like a box effect that's going to go along the length, the height of the safe. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm using, like I said, the Ali Yarns Color Crush yarn cakes, and this is a 4mm clover hook, crochet hook. It's my favorite. One of the main reasons I stick to DK yarns most of the time. It's my favorite. I love it. My friend helped me purchase it and acquire it, so I'm thankful for that. And yeah, that's that. Then I have got 2 of the same thing, just different colors. Why I made 2 of the same things? Well, number 1, I want to sell them, so a variety is always good. Number 2, I decided I wanted to create a tutorial on how to do them. So the brown one was too far along, and then I decided, okay, fine, let's start a new one, because I'll have to start a new one anyway sometime. So I started this one so that I can capture the steps on how to do it for a tutorial. So this is just a gingham corner to corner join as you go technique, not rocket science. Okay, so this one is left with 15 blocks that I still need to do. Why it's not finished? Because it's the festive season, everything is closed. I cannot find a yarn store that's open in a 120-kilometer radius that is there for me that I can go and pick up some yarn. So the one closest to me is opening tomorrow on the 3rd of January. Dankie. So I will be purchasing the yarn that I need to complete this one. So basically all I short is the medium color. It's called Peanut. So let's just take a step back. The yarn I'm using is Ali Pure Gold double knit. My favorite yarn. It's it's soft, it's affordable, it does not unravel and make, I don't know, fluff. It's soft and smooth, and it goes quick, and it looks pretty, and the color selection is very big, so which helps a lot. I can play around to my heart's content. The technique I actually learned from Heather of A Patchwork Heart. Please go follow her. Her tutorials on her website is very good. The pictures that she shares on Instagram is so pretty. It inspires me to keep going, to be honest. I will link that as well in the description below, everybody that I mention here today. So this is just a 10 by 10 blanket. That's gonna be on the short side. Here we go. Let me see from beginning to end. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna put a very simple border, and I'm thinking I'm using the one suggested by Heather as well for this blanket. Yeah, happy to get that finished, hopefully this week still, before some other exciting stuff happens that I will share with you a little bit later. And this one, just for the sake of the tutorial I'm making, I first did the size to do the 10 by 10, and then I'm going to start filling it up now. So the colorway that I selected here is, this is the Pure Gold double knit military. We have the bark, and this is the ivory color. For the brown one, the dark brown is Milo, the light brown is the peanut color, and then the white section is vanilla. So yeah, that's it for works in progress. That's 3 of them. Let me just make sure I covered everything. Yes, that's correct. Now for finished objects. Oh, guys, look at this. Look at this. This is the Amma CAL by Tinna. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce her surname. She lives in Iceland. She's awesome. She's a genius. I love it. So she actually made a few variations on the Amma CAL, and if you guys buy a pattern, you can choose. You can either create like only this middle piece here, or you can then continue up until the flower petals, the pink section here. I'm getting disoriented because I'm trying to look in the camera and make sure you guys can still hear me and see me, so, and see where I'm pointing at. And then you can put the border. So this is the traditional one, and then just sticking to the petals, it's her simple one, and then she has like these minis. And her pattern is so cool. She actually has like ideas of how to convert this into like a pillow, or instead of this traditional border, what she calls it, she's got a simple border. So your options are so many just in the pattern itself. Never mind what you can do with the colors. I mean, go check out her Instagram and her Ravelry page. She uses these bright colors that look so beautiful. I'm a huge fan of Tinna's. So yeah, I'm extremely proud of myself for doing this and completing it. And I have learned so much about Mosaic crochet. I started learning like the Apache tier and so on, using Tinna's YouTube tutorials. By the way, she has tutorials on YouTube on how to do all of these Amma squares. Each one of them actually has got a different name. So it's an Amma Lola and an Amma Saga and Amma Tinna, and it's named after all her grandmas. So yeah, I think this is just, I love it. And I decided to convert this into a curtain of sorts for my yarn room, because, or craft room, sorry, because the old thing that was here was like, no, it didn't do anything. It was a yucky brown thing that was hanging here. So yeah, I'm very happy. I will link I will give you guys a link to the pattern on Ravelry. It's definitely worth the buy, and you get the great tutorials on YouTube. She has not put the tutorial for the border on yet, but when you have the pattern, it's very easy to follow along. By the time you get to doing the border, you have learned all the techniques that you need to do the border. So do it. Then, apologies. So I also used Ali Pure Gold yarns here for this. Also double knit. It's what I have, it's what I love, it's what I use. So this brown, the brownish color, that is the butterscotch color from Ali Pure Gold. The pinkish color is Blossom. The grayish green funny color is Pepper, and then the white color was the Vanilla as well. So yeah, I actually cannot stop looking at it. I'm so proud. Okay, then my next finished object. Let me just get my notebook out here. Make sure I give you guys all the information. Yes, that's it. Is the shawl. It's my first ever shawl I made. I followed the tutorial on, I think her name's Candy on Expression Fibre Art. Another YouTube channel I would really recommend anybody to follow. She's such a pretty soul and she always greets you with these nice hello my lovely and you beautiful soul and things like that. You immediately feel better when you start watching her YouTube tutorials. So yeah, I'm a fan. And then she has got so many ideas on how to create different shawls, and she teaches you how to do gradients with color. Yeah, and her patterns is from beginning, as in beginners like me that know nothing, to a little bit more advanced things. Okay, so anything and everything, a lot of shawls. It's since I started watching her YouTube channel that I decided I need shawls. And I'm telling you, this came in very handy lately. But let's get to the point. The tutorial that I followed was her Sugar Blush shawl pattern. And then, yeah, I used up some old charity DK yarns that I had lying around because they need to go. They're just taking up space that I can fill up with other yarns. So it's very easy. It's single crochet stitches all the way, and it's not too bad. To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed because it's not really draping, and that's my fault. no fault of anybody else. It's me being a little bit square. So the label on the yarn said, use a 4mm hook. So what's Leanie going to do? Leanie is going to use a 4mm hook because it says that on the label. But very good friend of mine, Mariette, from the Boervrouw, suggested to me to use a little bit of a bigger crochet hook than the 4mm that gets recommended on the yarn label. So that's what I'm gonna do next time. I've already got some ideas of more shawls that I want to get and make myself some more shawls. So I will definitely go up to, maybe instead of the 4mm, maybe do like a 5mm crochet hook, just to get more of a drapey effect, because it's quite stiff. It works. I've been using it almost continuously. I just used it again last night, so it's been helping me out. It's doing its job. I'm happy. Next one will be even better. That's the point of this channel and this podcast, sharing with you guys what I learn as we go along. So those are my only two finished objects. I want to show you guys some acquisitions I made lately. First up, which I was so happy about, is I went online and I decided, let's look at some online local knitting crochet suppliers, and I found I Love Yarn, which I will link below here as well. They got a big variety of equipment that you will need to do knitting or crochet or whatever. They got some yarn on there as well. Nice variety there. So yeah, I bought myself, not this one, I had this for a while. So a while ago, I bought myself my first set of proper circular needles. And yes, it was 4mm because all my DK yarn says I have to use 4mm. So yes, the first two tips I bought, long time, maybe 2 years ago already. And I actually bought them with this 40cm cable and a 80cm cable. And I knitted a shawl with it, and I was happy and hooked because it's just knitting around and voila, you have stockinette stitch. Amazing. Anyway, so now I wanted to start knitting socks, because my friend Mariette, that I mentioned already, is knitting socks. And I'm jealous because they are so nice and it looks pretty. So, and then I start looking on, I started looking on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm seeing all these pretty socks out there. And then I heard about the crazy sock lady. And then I discovered Knitty Natty, Natalie of Knitty Natty. And I saw some of her tutorials. And I was like, this is possible. I can maybe also learn to knit socks. But I did not have the equipment, so let's go shopping. And I bought myself longer, maybe too long, 120cm long cables, not only for knitting socks, please don't get me wrong. And I bought matching Knit Pro needle tips, not these ones. I'm not showing them yet because I'm leaving the worst for last, to be honest. So I bought 2 of these and they are very, very nice. I've got one that's still in the packaging. I haven't taken it out. So you got these end stoppers. If you've got a project that you are leaving halfway, which we should not be doing. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, see? And then I mentioned to you guys that I want to learn to do Tunisian crochet. So I had a, guess what? Traditional 4mm Tunisian crochet hook. Metal one, I had one already, and I tried to Tunisian crochet myself another shawl. And again, I did not like it. It's not draping. It's too stiff. So let's follow Mariette's advice, and I bought a Tunisian crochet hook. That is where now? What did I do with it? Did it maybe fall? No, it did not. Here it is. So this is also a Knit Pro one, except this one is a, why is it not focusing? Goodness. It's not focusing. 5mm. Anyway, it's a 5mm Tunisian crochet hook that fits all the cables I already have. So awesome. Love it. I have not started a shawl yet because I don't know, I get overwhelmed. I don't want to have too many works in progresses. As in, I only showed you guys the free works in progresses I'm actively working on when it comes to crochet. And I want to count Tunisian crochet as crochet because of the name, Tunisian crochet. I have got 2 other mosaic crochet patterns, projects, waiting for me, but I'm not actively working on them, and things are going to get worse. I'll tell you soon why I'm saying that. Hence, I have not started a shawl for Tunisian crochet yet. That, and I want to first go to the yarn shops and buy some more yarn and play around and discover and learn and watch some more tutorials and do it properly. So yeah, we'll get there. Let me just so yeah, the same cables I bought for my knitting needles also fits my Tunisian crochet hook. Happiness. So I'll definitely be buying more of them. It's a Symphony, if I remember correctly. They call this the Symphony Tunisian crochet hook. So that's that. And then I started discovering how easy it is to buy patterns on Ravelry. It's actually too easy. I need to focus. I cannot be buying too many patterns. So the first one I bought was the Amma CAL pattern. And then I got something coming up and I had to get another pattern. And I was looking and looking. Eventually I found this one pattern that the moment I saw it, I knew I'm doing this. I even stopped looking. And I found some more, especially I'm a little bit mosaic crochet crazy currently. So I got all these patterns and I'm old school in terms of, well, number one, I don't have an iPad. I don't want one currently. I really don't have a need for it yet. So Also, the phone things are a little bit small on the phone, and then I don't always sit in front of my laptop, and I'm old school. I like things to be printed in hardcore paper. So then I was like, what am I gonna do with all my printed out patterns now? So I bought a ring binder, white one, and then I found these awesome pouches. They are very sturdy. It's not your normal flip file type of plastics that when you lift it up it starts drooping here at the end, drooping out of your flip file. You can take this out. It's sturdy, it's nice. You can throw it in your project bag and keep the pattern you are working on in the project bag. So no matter where you are or what time of the day it is, you can just pull out your pattern and there you go. And when you're done, you put it back in the file and it's still nice and neat. So it's gonna make a noise. Yes. So I've acquired a few knitting patterns. There's one knitting pattern, but I crochet patterns. Number one was already, like I told you, my very first ones, the Amma CAL from Tinna. And then there is a Mosaic, let me just take this off, a Mosaic Shawl, but this is knitted. I will give more details if and when I start this. That's the problem. And then I also bought Cindy's Pumpkin Patch Blanket, also Mosaic Crochet. I bought another one which I will get to shortly. Shortly. Stay tuned. So that's acquisitions. Now, something I've learned is that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Because let me show you guys what's happening. So I told you I bought myself smaller Knit Pro needles, circular needles, but the smallest I could find at that stage was 3 millimeters, and I had some 3-ply yarn in my stash. This one random ball of 3-ply yarn. It's too bright. It's way too bright. Let's see if we can reduce this. No, other way around. Ali Penguin Baby 3-ply. This yarn has been lying in my stash for the longest time. I mean, the paper is starting to get thin and crumbly and what. And I was saying to myself, you're gonna knit socks out of them. So I followed Knitty Natty's. I don't know, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So if you have not noticed yet, my first language, home language, is not English. I'm Afrikaans. Boeretani. But yeah, I'm Afrikaans. And look at this, guys. So here's my other work in progress. It's my very first pair of socks. Oh goodness. I can tell you that I know how to do Judy's magic cast on. I know how to increase. I know how to do a fish lips kiss heel, which is the latest pattern I acquired. Okay, so it is from Sock Therapist Designs. I'll also link all of this in the descriptions for you. And then I am just now just starting off with the cuffs, and I'm using a 2x2 ribbing to do that. So yeah, I'm using a 3-ply acrylic yarn with 3mm knit pro needles and a 80cm cable magic loop. So there's a lot of things not right on this. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I can now say I know how to do it. I'm not saying I'm good at it, I just know how. So hopefully the next one will get better. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but look at those gaps. Oh my goodness. So luckily I have a friend that's not too far away that I will be visiting very soon. Red, start the coffee. And then yeah, look at this. There's huge holes here, but I'm seeing that when I started to actually make sure that when I go over from the one needle to the other, I make sure that like the cord is right at the needle, like so, instead of having a gap like I had in the beginning. I am starting to see like here on the leg part that it's getting a little bit smaller. I'm getting better. So who knows, maybe by the time my cuff is finished this will be sorted. Who knows. Anyway, by tonight I will have one sock, and hopefully I've cast it on the next one. And practice makes perfect. If you guys have any tips for me, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. So yeah, this is just a 2x2 ribbing. I can knit a sock. I cannot do it very good, but I can do it. And then the last part is next up. What's happening? So I am super excited. This will be my very first make along that I participate in, and it is the Mosaic Make Along 2022. It's hosted by Lamoureknots. I will link all of her information down below as well. So it's going to start January 10th. It runs over 12 weeks, and basically all you need to do is submit progress pictures once a month, post on Instagram, tag Mosaic Make Along, hashtag Mosaic Make Along 2022, and so on. And there is some prizes sponsored by some well-known names. So let's see. I'm not going to tell you who yet. I don't want to share more than I'm supposed to share. You never know, at least I don't know yet what I can and cannot say. So that's it. I will link the link to Lamoureknots Instagram, and then we'll take it from there if you guys are thinking of joining along in the make along. So I had to pick a pattern, and I went onto Ravelry and I was looking and I didn't find anything. And then Lamoureknots actually shared the picture of this Mosaic blanket, and when I saw it I was like, sold. It's just awesome, and it's me, and I like making blankets. It's a tree of life, guys. Look at that. So this is by the Crazy Crochet Cat Lady. Crazy Crochet Cat Lady. She's got nice graphs for you. I printed out the full chart on an A3 paper. It's way too small. Fine. But she zoomed in. She's got it over more zoomed in. And she's got a written pattern. If you think you're not going to survive with the charts, she's got the written patterns here and all the rows. I don't want to show too much because I think she deserves every cent for doing this. I mean, wow. So, I know I'm going to use Ali Pure Gold double knit yarn, and I know I'm going to use my 4mm hook, and that's what I know so far. I am waiting very patiently for the yarn shops to open so I can go and buy my yarn. So I'm thinking by next week when I sit here, I'm going to sit here with a mountain of yarn behind me for acquisitions. Because I'm going to need, I roughly calculated 15 balls of yarn, 15 balls of 100-gram yarn, something like 3.3 kilometers worth of yarn. So yeah, exciting times. And then what did I want to tell you guys now? Oh, so this is a lot of whips. I do have a full-time job. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet. Let's keep some mystery. As we continue with this podcast, you guys will get to know me a little bit better, and I will get to know you a little bit better, and we'll see what you guys actually want to know about me. I'm not a very exciting person, quite boring, but anyway. But I was decided I was going to do the 30 minutes of knitting / crocheting thing daily for the rest of this year. And I'm going to constrict myself to weekdays while I'm doing my 30 minutes of stitching, let's call it that. I will watch a podcast episode. Weekends, different story. Let's see how it goes, what happens. So yeah, that's it. If there's something specific you guys would like me to cover or to mention in the podcast, feel free to leave a comment. And I hope that the week coming is going to be awesome, and that you guys will keep learning with me. Enjoy the rest of your week and your day and your Sunday. Bye bye.